All right, number 15. Alan drives an average of 100 miles each week. His car can travel an average of 25 miles per gallon of gasoline. Alan would like to reduce his weekly expenditure on gasoline by $5. Assuming gasoline costs $4 per gallon, which equation can Alan use to determine how many fewer average miles he should drive each week? Okay, so this question is very tricky. Okay, so we have to let's first take a look at the answer choices. Okay, so we have seems like we all have some kind of fraction times equal to a number. Okay, and we know we want to save $5 each week. So if we try to write an equation to model this, we can set the equation equal to 5. That's the total amount of money that we want to save is 5, right? And then represent how many fewer miles that he had to drive. So um that's the mileage here. Okay, so if we do, right, so the equation here should equal to 5 because that's the total amount of money that we want to save, right? So it's not 95 because yeah, it's not because they said he drives 100 miles each week, but that's not a dollar amount. Okay, we want to save $5. So yeah, so just by looking at these, we know it should be either B or D. Okay, so it should be either B or D. So then if you compare B and D, they're pretty much the same thing. The only difference is we have a number times M equal to 5. So B is 25 over 4 and D is 425. Okay, so before we move on, let's think about the meaning here for this equation. So we want to figure out a number times M and that should equal to 5. Right, and 5 is $5, so that's how much money we're saving. And mile M is the number of miles that we have to drive less, right? So it makes sense because we have to drive less in order to save this much money, right? Okay, but what will be the number in front? Okay, so a number times the number of miles give us the total amount of money that we're gonna save. So this question mark, this number here have to represent a certain type of rate. Okay, so it will be, in this case, it should be how much money per each mile. Okay, so if the question mark right here should represent how much money we can save, right, per each mile. So it'll be the cost of gasoline per mile. Right? If we know how much it is for each mile that we drive, then that times the number of miles that we drive less, then it should give us the total amount of money that we save, which is $5. All right. So the question mark here, the number in front that we're looking for should be how much money. So it should be the dollar amount per each mile. That's the rate that we're looking for. Okay. So here, let's try to solve that, right? We know it's $4 per gallon, but that's not per mile, it's for each gallon, right? It's $4 per gallon, but in 1 gallon, how many miles can we drive? So that will be this number. Right? The car can drive 25 miles per gallon. That's the mileage rating. So it'll be 25 miles per each gallon. So instead of saying $4 per 1 gallon, now we're going to replace that and say that's $4 per 25 miles. Okay, $4 per 25 miles because in 1 gallon we get 25 miles. So this is the rate that we're looking for, right? Okay, so I had to do 4 on the top, $4 divided by 25. So that would be how much money per each mile. Okay, and that should go in front here. That would be the rate. Okay, so that will be how much money per each mile. And then that times the number of miles we save. That should give us the total money we save, which is $5. Again, this equation can use to figure out what M is. Okay, so the correct answer should be letter D. Yeah, so for question 15, should be D. So it should be 4 over 25 times M equal to 5. All right, so the first number there, the 100, we actually don't need it. Okay, so this extra piece of information, he drives 100 miles per week. That's good, but we actually don't need that number for this question. Okay, So for number 15, the final answer is D.